For this black eye design, I used the Professional Zombie Wheel by Ben Nye, an Orange Stipple Sponge. I also used a brush from V. Neal's brush line called Fantasy No. 2, and an old frayed eyeliner brush from Makeup Designery No. 900. I start with the yellow because I always recommend starting with the lightest color and getting increasingly dark. It's easier to get darker, it's harder to get lighter. Lighter colors make designs protrude forward, and darker colors make them look recessed, so I choose to put the yellow on the top of my cheekbone to give it a swollen look, and I go around the top and the bottom of that yellow section with a darker color so it pops out. The darker color I'm choosing to use next are the two reds that come in the wheel. One is a little bit more of a brown red and the other is a pinkier red. I alternate between the two. I really like the Orange Stipple Sponge because it's a lot softer than the Black Stipple Sponges, and so they're comfortable to use around your eye. It's really important to use a stipple sponge for bruising because texture is very important. Something that makes fake bruises look extremely fake is when they're too smooth. You want to see all the irregularities of different broken capillaries peeking through the different colors of the design. You can see I've moved on to using my eyeliner brush that's been all frayed, and I'm using that in irregular motions, sweeping, stroking, squiggling, and even stippling. And then I smudge it and blot it with the sponge and my fingers. And now I'm going in with the blue-purple color in the wheel. I'm focusing that color in the circle that's naturally under my eye because, again, I want to create another swollen look. So by keeping it dark in that circle under my eye and keeping it a little bit lighter above it, that area will look like it's protruding as well as my cheekbone. Anytime you're doing a bruise, it's good to look up pictures of real bruises, not makeup bruises, to give you some inspiration. I knew I wanted this bruise to be very colorful because something that makes bruises look fake is when it's just a blue-purple color all over. Usually bruises have multiple colors in them. This bruise is still relatively fresh. Yellow does make things look older. Yellow and green do, but sometimes you can still see a little bit of yellow with the purple and reds. This small brush is really great because it allows me to have a lot more control and I can get a lot closer to my lash line than I would be able to with just a sponge or a bigger brush. I'm going in with V's Fantasy No. 2 brush, and I'm just wiping along everything gently with a clean brush. Now I'm going over the yellow with a little bit of the red color, the red pinkish color. It's a very strange feeling to be using a brush with cream. Usually people associate using a brush with powder colors. So you're just lightly going over the top of it with wispy and stipply brush strokes, very lightly, to make random texture. You see how well that works? Then I go in and smudge it out a little bit in certain places. If you're doing this bruise for a theatrical production, it's important to step back away from the mirror to see how it looks far away. And there it is, the gorgeous, colorful bruise. I feel like I'm posing for one of those sexy eyeshadow demos. All right, so now I've decided, let's have some more fun. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's add a scrape. So I've taken my Black Stipple Sponge, which is a little coarser, and dipped it into Ben Nye Thick Blood, which is kind of like a blood jam, and I scrape it along the top of my cheekbone. Then, to give it more shine, I decided to add another layer of blood, Paramount Theatrical Blood by the Alcone Company, and use the same technique, streaking on another layer with the Black Stipple Sponge. Then, to give it more depth, I streaked on the darkest red-brown color in the wheel into the thickest chunks of blood to make it look a little deeper and dirtier. It could either be dirt or it could be congealed dark blood. It's up to the viewer to decide. All right, folks, if you want to see more videos like these, and I know you do, please click the subscribe button. Please do it. You know you want to.